Something I've learned since building this business is that at a certain point, doing more of what's comfortable stops moving you toward what you actually want. And the most powerful thing you can do is get radically honest about where you're putting your energy. For years, I've wanted to grow Fractional CMO School, and this year I finally am. In this episode today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on exactly why, what I'm building, and the vision behind all of it. So I'm going to share the decision that's totally reshaping my business this year and the honest realization and conversation I had to have with myself, why I'm intentionally protecting my space instead of filling it, and what that unlocks for me, the ecosystem I'm building behind the scenes, including an agency engine designed to send incredible fractional CMO leads straight to my fractional CMO school students, and the mission that's actually driven me from day one. This episode is personal, and it's going to look at the bigger vision I'm building for me and for every ambitious marketer ready to step into their next level. So if that's you, you're going to want to hear this. I'm going to take you back to a moment where earlier this year, I was out for lunch with a friend of mine, and we were having this conversation. We usually have lunch about once a year. And she was asking me, how's business going? How's life? And I found myself sitting there almost having this out of body experience, watching myself say the same thing to her that I had said the year before. And that was, I have some really cool clients right now, loving the work that I'm doing. And I'm also trying to grow Fractional CMO School. Keyword trying. And as I was sitting there, I had this feeling that this is exactly what I said to her last year and exactly what I said the year before. And I actually haven't grown Fractional CMO School because I hadn't been giving it any attention. I kept lying to myself. I realized that, okay, Jess, you can juggle everything. You can grow your school, grow your personal brand, and have students. Because the thing was, I love having clients. I love it. I love the work. It doesn't feel like work to me, but I also really want to grow my school. I had this moment of sitting there thinking, I don't want to be sitting here a year from now and saying the same thing again and sitting here thinking, okay, you still haven't done what you said you were going to do. So I had this honest moment with myself and said to myself, Jess, you either need to decide to go for it with Fractional CMO School or stop talking about it. And when I sat and reflected on what do I really want, I love both of these things, but I'm lying to myself if I'm telling myself I can do both of these things at the same time. It's not happening. And what's actually happening is in that lie, I end up just choosing the client work all the time. And so I really had to get honest with myself about what was important to me and why. And when I sat with the decision, there were two things that came up. Number one was I thought, why do I want to grow Fractional CMO School? What's the motivating factor for me? And ultimately, what I landed on was that the thing that excites me the most about that and makes me feel so passionate and so lit up is that I have this huge, strong belief that marketers can be making incredible money doing work that they love. And I see all over every single day marketers completely undercharging for the work that they are doing and not holding enough value in the strategic and leadership skills that they bring to the table. I've felt very passionate about helping the people in my life that I love, friends, family, etc., make more money and step into their worth. And I've done it actually since my very first job. So I was that person in my 20s encouraging friends to apply for jobs that they maybe didn't feel qualified for, or to ask for like 5 or 10K more when they were getting a job offer, or ask and negotiate for more vacation time. And I've always been that advocate or that friend that's going to kind of push you and push your edges and help you see yourself the way I see you, see the potential that I see. And so when I landed on that and really felt sure that that is the why, that's what makes me so excited with Fractional CMO School. It just made me realize that as much as I love client work, if I continue to let that be priority one for me, I can't have the impact that I know I can have on a bigger level if I really give Fractional CMO School the attention that it deserves. So I decided in that moment to go all in on growing Fractional CMO School this year. And that doesn't mean that I won't have any clients, but I'm not taking on new clients right now. And my client load is quite small intentionally, which is both terrifying and exciting because I have made multi 6 and 7 figures every single year for 5 years since I started this business. So making this decision for me financially is a risk and is scary, but I really am holding on to the bigger why here and the impact that I have and the belief that I have that marketers can have a really, really successful career working part-time, doing the work that they love. And the other piece about my vision that is so exciting, and I've never shared this part either, is that I have a vision to still build up my agency, the CMO office. And what I want to do, be pulling in incredible leads. I want to be known as the number one CMO agency in the world. And I want the best clients to be coming our way so I can funnel them and match them to my students. How fun would that be? And so that's my vision. That's what I'm building. And I'm so, so, so excited. I think that ultimately the reason I struggled with this decision was a few things. Number one, continuing to take on clients and fill my time that way was the comfortable choice and the familiar choice. And so if you're a marketer, if you're an entrepreneur, you probably can understand this. Doing what you know is comfortable. Sometimes when I talk to my students and I'm trying to help them step into working with higher ticket clients or higher caliber clients so they can charge more, what happens is they have a hard time saying no to what's coming their way because they're used to saying yes. And that pattern feels familiar and predictable and safe because they know it, right? And so it's easy to do what you know. It's difficult to make a change. And that's where I am right now, is leaning into the trust. And if you have ever felt that way, I want to encourage you to do that. So if you are sitting there and you're wanting higher ticket clients, stop doing the thing that you know that is getting in your way. When you fill your time with those low ticket clients who can't afford to pay you more and who actually maybe don't really need marketing leadership or want marketing leadership, that means your time and your energy is filled by servicing them. It doesn't give you the time and the space and the energy to go and pursue the bigger ticket clients. So you create this self-fulfilling prophecy where your world and your days and your business just look the same over and over because that's what you're allowing. The other things that kept popping up as far as resistance to making this decision was fear. Honestly, can I make this work? Can I do this? Do I think I can build this? And I think that whenever we're making a shift in our business, we're going to feel fear. That's really normal. And the difference between people who end up with extraordinary businesses or extraordinary careers is their capacity to tolerate the discomfort. Because when we can sit in the discomfort and just get our systems acclimated to that and train our nervous system to feel safe in this thing that is maybe not comfortable yet for us, that's where change starts to happen. So you've probably experienced this at the gym, or if you've started running or something like that, where it's very uncomfortable at first. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And then suddenly you're a runner. Suddenly you're someone who lifts heavy weights. It reminds me a lot of when I actually started this business 5.5 years ago, when I started doing CMO work. It was so uncomfortable. I had never held a CMO title and I had never done a lot of the things that I was doing. And I was really uncomfortable. I had a lot of imposter syndrome, and it felt like a bit of a fake it till you make it. And now I feel extremely confident in myself as a CMO. I know that I have the right skill set. I know that I have the right experience, and I have the systems and processes that allow me to show up and service my clients really well and keep them happy, and also still have great boundaries around my work and what I do. So that only became my reality because I tolerated the discomfort long enough until that became my new normal. And it suddenly didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not a CMO. It felt like, okay, I am a CMO and I've been doing this for a long enough time. So now this new iteration of my business is just another version of that. So what you will see from me going forward is I have a goal for the next year. I want to make at least 100 marketers into six-figure fractional CMOs. That is my big, hairy, audacious goal. And I would love your help getting there. So if you know anyone who would be a fit for Fractional CMO School, please send them my way. If you've been thinking about joining, I'd love to chat with you about if you're a fit. You can click the link below to learn more about Fractional CMO School, or my DMs are always open if you want to shoot me some questions. I'm so excited to be focusing on Fractional CMO School and for it to no longer be the thing that is getting my leftover energy. And I'm so excited about the possibility of changing other people's lives and showing them what's possible for them. Because when I started this business, I remember thinking, well, I'm never going to make that much money. I'm just a marketer. I didn't go into the stock market or investment banking, or I'm not a lawyer. I'm probably just only going to make a little bit of money, and that's okay. At least I'll have some flexibility and maybe I can match my salary. That was my goal. And I probably would have always thought that way if I didn't see the things I saw at the start of my business. And I'm a huge believer of we can't unsee what we see, and we exist to show other people what is possible for them. So me sharing my story of how I built my business and helping other people do the same, my purpose there is so that you understand what's possible for you as a marketer, because you can do this too. There is nothing special about me. I'm just persistent. I just built the systems that were required to do this well. And you can do it too. So I'm very excited about this next chapter. I will be focused on growing Fractional CMO School and then shifting, once that's grown, to building up the agency engine so I can feed incredible leads to my students. And I'm just so excited about how life-changing and impacting this can be. So if you want to be one of my 100 marketers this year, let me know. And thanks for listening. I know this episode was a little bit different, but I will see you next week on CMO School.